Hazel sends me the most beautiful picture of a raven table, and I'm nearly brought to tears by it because it literally is like a circle, and it's like the closing out of a cycle. And then I'm like, oh, maybe it's messages from the ravens. So I'm on it. I was having a quick fag. So we have gone through the full moon, which was in Sagittarius, in Gemini season. So full moon in Sag, star sign in Gemini, and then on to come this week. So we've got the solstice today, tomorrow, whenever you feel it, really. I wouldn't go by the 3D time, whatever you feel. And then we've got then we're moving into Cancer season. Yay! Water. But that was definitely the closing out of a massive, great big subject. Trying to connect. It was that feeling of rejection and trying to connect. With me, it's moving forward courageously, regardless of feeling vulnerable, being vulnerable. It's strength, it's inner strength, it's spiritual strength, it's overcoming fears and moving forward or being open anyway. And that infinity sign at the top is, you know, there may have been some patterns that needed breaking. I might try and move that because I don't want it slipping in and out of connection. Let's try it that way. I don't want it slipping in and out of connection. I'd rather get the message across. So, message for the collective of the highest timeline, protection of the highest level, on the unions, past life, twin flame, romance, in the heart space. We know the work is always on the inside, then on the outside. What is the message from the ravens for the collective regarding unions, romance, that, you know, connections? What is the message? What would the ravens like the collective to know? What's the opportunities available at the moment coming up to this solstice? We have the King of Wands underneath. The King of Wands is the masculine energy. The King of Wands is, I have mastered all the wands. I'm a magician. He's very good at business. He does what he says. He's very charismatic. He's very, I'll get to him. The King of Wands. So it's on the masculine side. The Queen of Wands is the shadow queen. On the divine feminine side, she goes in, she does the shadow work. The King of Wands does the same, and then he goes out into the world and he literally builds new worlds. Oh, so we have the Two of Pentacles, which is a choice, which is weighing two things up. It's they've got two ravens in the hand, and that's the full moon in the background. So there was a juggling of things, and it could have been, if we're looking at this romantically or in the heart space, it was a juggling of emotions. So it would have been going back and forth on a decision. But the Two of Pentacles is like, I've got two responsibilities and I've got to let one go so I can free up my hands. But also during that full moon, we were shown two different sides of things. You know, the shadow, the light, inwardly and outwardly. And along with that, we have the Three of Pentacles. Now, the Three of Pentacles is in this card. It's mastering the crafts. He's actually carved out three ravens in the wood. So this is mastering some form of skill in the 3D, and it could actually be 3 people, but I would say romantically, if we're talking about the 3 of Pentacles, it's like having 3 gifts that you have mastered in the root chakra space, that you've mastered to perfection, and using those skills to possibly make this decision. Something's got to go. The 2 of Pentacles and the 3 of Pentacles is the 5 of Pentacles. Now the 5 of Pentacles represents a feeling of lack, of loss, of not being seen, not being heard, emotionally empty. So yeah, the 3 and the 2 equals 5, which is change. 5 of Pentacles, but it is change from. So something had to go, because 5 Pentacles is like I'm not seen, I'm not heard, I'm not being shown my worth. But when we separate the 2, this is my skill set. This is what I have to offer. This is what I've mastered, and I've got to make a decision around this full moon. I've got to drop something. I've really got to drop something. And then bang in the middle of that, we have the Queen of Wands. So this is the Shadow Queen. So we've actually got the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck and the Queen of Wands. That is the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine in the wand space. She goes in, she faces her shadow, she brings it, you know, what's the word? She transmutes it, not transmutes it, but she brings it into who she is now. She faces her own demons and devils and fears, and then if this is like a couple, it's a power couple. It's the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. I mean, they could manifest worlds together. But when we look at it on the inside, this is mastery. Mastery of the wands in the highest level crowned, Divine Masculine, highest level crowned, Divine Feminine. But it did take recognising one's skills and then having to make a decision. So I'm hoping this is resonating. King of Wands at the bottom. Now I'm going to go to my cards and see where this connection is. If it's something, let's have a look. See where this connection is. I made these cards up myself. So, we've got the full moon in the background, and we've got this castle. This castle is almost like, do we build castles in the sky? Oh, tell me why. Oh, it's a little bit delusional. It's got that airy-fairy, you know, wish. It's the kind of stuff that we were brought up on. It's the kind of fairy tale stuff that, you know, knights in shining armour, there are happily ever afters. But there's a lot of enlightenment around this castle, and it could be that going in and doing that shadow work and looking at those skill sets, those 3 skill sets, this is what makes me who I am. This is what I've crafted, and you know, this is what I'm capable of. The Queen of Wands could live there. I mean, the King of Wands could live there too. But is it reality? Is it real? I think there might have been a little bit of delusion around this. I mean, all these roses represent enlightenment of the highest level. So that, and it was a strawberry moon, so it's almost like, wow, that is literally the strawberry moon. That is what it fucking looked like, do you know what I mean? So it, under that strawberry moon, you know, where we did some illusion, delusion come up to the surface? Did we realise our worth? Did we have to go into the shadow, in the dark, and go, actually, you know, I deserve castles. I'm a queen. I deserve to live in there. I'm not accepting anything less than... that's really interesting, because to be honest with you, in all the Raven readings that I've done, that one's never come out. And it was the Strawberry Moon. Now, there was a portal, a gateway, available to us. And you can see that in there as well. That was the portal, the gateway. Now, we can... I'm going to get some more on this, but it was definitely the twin flame journey. But there's not, again, there's no connection here. So you can see the flames on the floor. They're not holding hands. He's not touching her back, and they're not holding hands. There's no contact. Something has been illuminated. Something is on fire in this twin flame connection. But there are skeletons in the closet. There are skeletons behind the divine feminine. So if we are looking at this like it was what was illuminated around the full moon, this is what needed to come out. This is what needed to be processed. And also letting go of old, you know, it's... The skeleton represents also being stripped down to the bone, so it's a, you know, it's a very vulnerable state, but it does give that there is no connection. The connection, they're dancing the dance, is what I want to say. So you move, I move, you move, I move. But the divine feminine, whether that is the actual divine feminine or the divine feminine in the masculine, had to go in and do some shadow work on these past skeletons, past lives maybe even, because it's a skeleton. Old flames at the bottom, but that's definitely the twin flame connection under that moon. But yeah, so it's like they're together, but they're not actually touching, but they are moving in the same direction, and the whole, you know, that could definitely be the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands both going in, both doing the shadow work, but he comes back out into the world and starts new businesses, and yeah, I mean, she does as well, but she manifests from what she's learned in the shadow. So she will alchemize her shadow and then manifest really quickly from that space, whereas he actually has to go out into the world and make it happen. So if you have done some clearing out, and I mean, there are two kind of, I don't know what they are, butterflies, moths, swans, I don't know, but there are two birds. But if you went through that door into that portal and timeline jumped, which is what we got given the opportunity to do, then you can expect this kind of fairy tale like energy, or it was an delusion. So we're gonna, and that was probably the juggling of it. But like I said, the Five of Pentacles represents a feeling of lack, a feeling of not being seen, not being heard, and something's got to go. This isn't. It's almost like this connection, this dance that they're doing, the work that they're doing on themselves. So the twin flame connection is almost like triggering each other to ascend. It doesn't necessarily mean it's romantic, although there is a very strong, and you can see all the fire around it, so there's a very strong pull and push and pull and push backwards and forwards with this connection, but they're not actually touching. So it's almost like they meet to learn from each other and then grow. but there was shadow work done. The Queen of Wands went in, and she weighed it up. She weighed it up. She had options. She had her hands full, back and forth. She weighed it up and decided, yeah, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to do the work. That is the work. I'm going to master my skills, and this is what I'm worth. Or it brought out the delusion of that. So we're going to now go to the Doreen Virtue romance cards, which will give us a little bit more on this connection. Give us a little bit more on this connection. Whereabouts is it? What's the message from the romance cards around this? What looks like something was cleared out during the full moon, but there was back and forth, back and forth. Five of Pentacles lack, but then actually taking power back, mastering skills in the Wands, which is manifesting, which is business ideas, creativity, it's being on fire, and possibly facing the skeletons in the closet. Chemistry, so that there's a strong magnetic attraction here. You can't make it up. That's what that is, a strong magnetic attraction. So she's in red and he's in yellow and blue. So the red is like the root chakra, the red is the actual, you know, that's at the bottom. So there is chemistry here. But then we have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Well, she's offering up some yellow flowers to some kind of god, like deity, if you like. But again, she's offering up. She is being open and receptive and giving. So staying optimistic about it, because that pink moon was, you know, the harvest, strawberry moon, whatever. There was a portal, there was a timeline jump, and it could have been to clear out this shadow work on the divine feminine side. So stay optimistic about your love life and chemistry. We're going to go back to the ravens now, and so this really is, even on the masculine side, this is the masculines going in and doing the shadow work on the divine feminine side in the one space and actually mastering it. I've got this. I'm not afraid, and there's the moon as well. I'm not afraid to turn around and have a look at that skeleton behind me. There's no fear here. And I do deserve to, you know, have this. Staying optimistic. Staying optimistic and chemistry. Chemistry is that pull. It's that magnetic, I don't know why, but I feel drawn. But obviously with anything energetic, it's always working on the inside first. Right, give me some more. Queen of Wands and the Castle. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune, and we've got the Two of Wands. So, there wasn't, and then we've got the King of Swords underneath. Wow. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Something has turned. Something has moved. The Wheel of Fortune, again, is a 10. It's like the 5, you know, it's a closing out of. When we make a decision, when we drop something, those pentacles could be too many responsibilities, or too many, if we're looking at it romantically, too many attachments, or, you know, juggling two things. like you can't keep juggling two things on the go. And then something happened on that full moon and the wheel turned. The Wheel of Fortune turned because the Two of Wands is a gateway. So when we have, just say for instance, we've healed our Queen of Wands and we've done the work. So this is going into the shadow, doing the work, coming out with this new gift, this new idea, this new fire. This is like I've gone into the darkest parts of my soul. I've done the work. I've come out. I've got my crown on. I've mastered the art of being able to, you know, integrate it into who I am now. And we've got the King of Wands, who then says, right, now I'm gonna go and actually physically go out into the world and build something upon this. It is a gateway. You've got two wands in your hand. What it does is create a gateway. So that's what happened around this full moon. There was a gateway, an opportunity to clear something out, and the portal was there. That was the portal. Bottom of the deck, we've got the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords isn't in his heart space, but he has mastered his mind space. So the King of Swords is somebody who says it as it is, somebody who doesn't get lost in their thoughts. They've mastered the mind space, they've crowned it. We've got quite a few kings and queens that have popped out, which obviously would live in castles. Mastered the mind space, you know, and then if it's a no, it's a no. If it's a yes, it's a yes, and doesn't feel the need to. He's not very empathic, so he will just literally say it as it is. Let's get some more. That was just bottom of the deck. So what else have we got? Can you hear the birds singing? I'd love it if the raven flew over now. This fell out on the castle. Ten of Swords. So Ten of Swords in this particular deck, when we're thinking, this is old wounds. They're all having a bloody good old peck at him. But Ten of Swords is like, I've got 10 swords in my back from past, this could be the clearing out. These swords may not have actually been your responsibility, which is juggling responsibilities, but it is our job to do the healing. The Ten of Swords is often a projection of someone else that may have kind of stabbed you in the back, but he's had enough, he's done, it's closure. Ten of Swords, I'm lying down, but there's healing work. So it feels like this moon actually healed quite a lot of Ten of Swords energy because it landed out on the castle. So that was the gateway, the opportunity to go in and clear out these Ten of Swords. And if that means literally pulling each sword out from your back and looking at it, doing the shadow work, going in, facing it, not being afraid of it, and then mastering it into a skill that you can use in this world. This is, that fell out on with the Chariot at the bottom. So again, the Chariot this is my, normally on the Chariot card you've got one black and one white, but the star is the healing, the moon is the illumination, the Chariot is, I'm moving forward in a new direction, and I am going to integrate my shadow with my light, the dark and the light, and I'm going to move in a different direction. That was the bottom of the deck. Chemistry, stay optimistic about your love life, think positive. And that fell out on the castle as well, so they all seem to be going that way, and that's the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is, I'm happy, I'm single, I'm on my own, I'm doing my own thing, you know, I'm doing the shadow work, I'm clearing out my Ten of Swords, I've got my own castle, I don't need anybody, you know, to get, you know, be in there. It's this feeling of contentment. It's somebody who doesn't look outside themselves. They're independent. So we've got 3 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, which is 5, which is the change, to the 9 of Pentacles, which is I'm happy, I'm content, I'm single, you know, and it turned the wheel of fortune. So it's asking us to stay optimistic because there's chemistry. There is chemistry, and then bang, there she is, the Empress. Whether you're masculine or feminine, we both have the Empress and the Emperor. The Empress is the divine feminine. She's pregnant with new ideas. She's full of abundance. She sits on her throne, and she manifests from the heart space. She's in her fields. So as we're moving from Gemini season into Cancer season, this is what we, you know, the Empress, and that is what it is. She empresses. She is the ruler of her kingdom on the divine, and that is the kingdom, on the divine feminine side in us, and that's where the work was done. It was like, you know, I'm not settling. I'm gonna go in and face my shadow, whatever is behind me, and clear it out. I'm gonna master that wands energy of being able to heal myself because I'm not afraid of my own shadow. I'm going to use the skills to create, and then the wheel turns. 10 of Swords. And again, that can be being stabbed in the back, but it's actually put the divine feminine in us, whether we're masculine or feminine, into the 9 of Pentacles, which is independent, don't need anyone, I've got enough, and I've got enough to share. And I'm happy being on my own. That's beautiful. And then the Empress at the bottom of the deck. Anything else? Anything else? I've got some more cards too. But there's definite chemistry. There's definitely a pull there. I can't get over that moon card falling out, and it really did look like the strawberry moon. But there was a portal there. And then we had that massive thunderstorm after, which almost like closed out the portal, it felt. Right, so 8 of Cups. Moving on. 8 of Cups is I am not emotionally fulfilled where I am, letting go of people, places, emotions, anything that doesn't serve me. And that was possibly under the full moon as well. And if you did an 8 of Cups, somebody, something, then the 8 of Cups, did you see that? Or was that just me? The 8 of Cups, it out, them out, whatever. 8, I'm going to leave that there. So we've also got the 3 of Swords. Now this could have been a heart activation. Now if there was some past healing that needed going on, it was 3 of Swords. And the 3 of Swords comes along when, if we are a little bit deluded in illusion around castles in the sky and princes and knights in shining armour, the 3 of Swords will come along to clear that out. Now a broken heart is an open heart, so it's clearing out old wounds. And it may feel heartbreaking to actually face the fact that, you know, it isn't what you thought it was, or there's 10 of Swords or whatever, but it was something, it feels like with this reading that skeleton in the background was to clear out old heartbreak, especially with the 10 of Swords, healing. These swords, I've been heartbroken so many times, you know, you could probably triple that 10 of Swords, and this is what the moon done. It cleared out any old heartbreak, heartache. the Lovers. So the Lovers is the divine masculine, the divine feminine in unity. And like I said at the beginning, you've got the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands in unity. This is working in unity, both divine feminine, divine masculine, either within or without. And then you've got the Lovers, and the Lovers can represent making a choice, or it can represent an actual lover, a connection. And when we've got chemistry and stay optimistic about your love life, then it's like, right, if you've done the work, sorry, I've got something crawling on me. If you've done the work, if you've done the clearing out, then you could expect for your divine partnership to come in now. Because 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords, clearing it out. How many? That makes 13, which is breaks down to 4, which is healing. So the Lovers. What else did we get? The 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords is moving on to calmer waters. The 6 of Swords is, I don't mess around in fuckery. I do what I say on the tin. I'm not afraid to go in and do my shadow work. I know my worth because I've mastered all my skills. I've been heartbroken. I've done my healing work. I've balanced out what's good and what's not good. Let's see what else fell out with that. 10 of Cups. So the 6 of Swords moving on to calmer waters, and it's moving away from drama, moving away from anything that no longer serves us. Under that moon, just on the boat, sailing nice and smoothly into the next chapter. And then we've got the 10 of Cups, and everybody deserves the 10 of Cups, but we don't look, let me get this out, we don't look outside ourselves for the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is this feeling of, I've got 10 cups and I'm going to fill them myself with stuff that I want. This is emotional independency. It's, I'm going to fill my own cup. I'm going to fill it so much. I've got 10 of them. I've got enough to share. It's that, and I'm happy. 9 of Pentacles, I've worked on my root chakra, I've done, you know, I've got enough money, I'm secure, I'm not looking for anything outside of myself, and then maybe, bosh, you know, the Lovers comes in, and that's your 10 of Cups filled, because it can actually represent relationships. And, oh my God, yeah, 8 of Cups at the bottom. So something had to go. You had to walk away from something. Where am I going now? Where am I going now? Oh, the Guardian Angels. I definitely felt that message I got was to do a reading. But it felt very much like a closing out, a cycle had finished. So the Lovers is choices, but it's also union within, divine masculine, divine feminine, entwined, working together. Okay, please give me something on what have we got? The Queen of Wands, the 2 of Wands. Give me something on this. 2 of Pentacles, back and forth. Letting something go. Because it's trying to, out with the old and in with the new. Heaven is showing you a sign that it's time to move in a new direction, which is the 6 of Wands. Often this is because you're not happy and feel a lack of purpose. This is a wake-up call to make changes that match your heart's desires and spiritual truths. So beautiful. Out with the old, in with the new, and that's literally what actually happened. Whether that's out with the old as in people, places, situations, whatever, or just old emotions, scars it feels like, in order for that wheel to turn, we have to clear out. and it's 16. And then we've got successful completion. This is a time of incredible accomplishment. You're justified in feeling joy and a sense of completion and pride in the amazing job you've done, because I'm telling you what, it takes a lot of courage and strength to turn around and stare those skeletons in the face and actually do the work and process old traumas, old heartaches, old wounds, and then obviously then see reality for what it actually is. You've been blessed with many spiritual insights. Soon you'll begin a new journey, but for now take time to bask in the happiness of your dreams coming true. So that's kind of feels like what that portal is, because it does look like a dream come true. And even if that dream come true is just peace of mind, Christ, you know, you can't buy it. You're lighter. Something definitely shifted around that moon, and now we've got the solstice tomorrow, and then we've got a big manifesting energy come Monday. I think Cancer is in alignment with Venus, so all in the feels. I have to keep saying to myself, don't cry today. But they're happy tears. So the Guardian of Abundance, this is a time of great success for you. All your plans are blessed and will move forward perfectly. Unexpected job opportunities arise in the near future. So it might not be job, it might just be, you know, invites. Make sure to accept them. This card indicates that someone with an amazing career is involved in the situation. This is a powerful person, so this could be the King of Wands, with great integrity and who enjoys hard work. This card could be you. So this is in the divine masculine energy of doing, of working, of doing the groundwork. And then bottom of the deck we've got Healer of Emotion, and they're both here, they're both in red. So the chemistry is something, it's something that you can't put into words. But it and then you've got attraction at the bottom. It's something that you can't put into words. It's magnetic. We have magnetic poles. It's up to us to decide whether, you know, they're real or not. This is a time to follow your heart and feel the fullness of your emotions. You may feel so compelled to nurture others that you forget to care for yourself. Flashes of intuition provide you with incredible insights. You or another person is kind, tender-hearted, loving and a trustworthy friend. But she's in red, so this is root chakra work. Right, helper of emotion at the bottom, chemistry. I'm going to go to the psychic tarot and see if what we get with these. But the Wheel of Fortune has definitely turned. Something closed out, and that's what was quite interesting in the photo that I was sent of the Raven table. It looked very much like this, like the Wheel of Fortune, like there was a completion of something, a cycle, a pattern. Something had to be dropped. A lot of times in the Two of Pentacles, it's actually the infinity sign. It's something you can't keep juggling. If it's emotion, going back and forth on a decision, or having too many responsibilities, not having your hands free or your heart space open to be able to receive anything else. If it's full of heartache and Ten of Swords. Wounds, they're wounds, Ten of Swords are wounds, old wounds. Right, give me something on this reading, which seems to have sort of clarify around the full moon. Let me know if this resonates. Let me know if you'd like to be tagged in any lives. And they do get deleted after a month, and I have got a YouTube channel that I'm trying to keep up with. So there was emotional loss, 5, which is the 3 and the 2 of Pentacles. Something had to go. Something had to go in the heart space. Something was cleared out. It was changed. Something needed to change. It's like this pattern going round and round and round, and it's like we can't keep repeating this cycle. Can't keep sitting in this energy of lack. Can't, you know, like, and it's almost like there's enlightenment, but it's behind him. He can't even see it. He's just holding on. Let's have a look at it. Emotional loss. So yeah, he's in, and that is the change. And actually what fell out was rejoice and celebration. So 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is reunited. 3 of Cups is like, you know, I've gone from feeling this heartache, lack, loss, not being seen, not being accepted, not being, you know, emotionally fulfilled, to I'm going to celebrate myself. And that is what I feel this 3 of Pentacles is a celebration of, this is my craft, this is who I am. I have these skills which are so unique to each and every one of us. And this is worth celebrating. This is coming together. This is reunion. Maybe 3 people coming together, but it's like cheers. You deserve to celebrate what you've just gone through, what you've just done, facing your shadow, clearing it out, healing old wounds is just something to celebrate. And again, that's in the heart chakra space. Emotional loss. So yeah, something had to go and was healed. But it's saying stay optimistic, because you've got to clear it out. We can't, collectively, we can't keep carrying, you know, old patterns of probably generational behaviours, of staying in situations just because we don't want to upset people or because it's the way it's always been done. Needs collectively clearing out, and our relationship with the idea of relationships needs to be changed, out with the old, in with the new as well. Like, you know, this whole buy a house, buy a home, have a car, get 2 kids, you know, stay together for the sake of the kids. That's such an old vibration that we are literally clearing out because of this chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction or connection here. We're moving more into spiritual connections, heart-centered connections. We're not marrying for material or anything else, which is what a lot of our ancestors did. We're clearing out ancestral, something flipped over there. We're clearing out ancestral balance, ancestral baggage, there we go. So there was a lot of mental conflict. That's 2. That's that 2 of Pentacles, going back and forth on a decision, and then finding balance. 11. He's like the master manifester. Or is it 2? No, it's not 2. This is 11. But because he's mastered all of these, he's got his sword, so he's mastered the mind space, he's mastered the cup space, he's mastered the how to attract abundance and the healing element of it, and open to source energy, balance. Something's got to go, and it looks like something needed to be said. But is that a 5? Change, throat chakra. Maybe it was just speaking out, speaking one's truth. Saying, oh my God, I've had a really shit time, I've had to go into the dark and do some real, you know, shadow work. That is enough. But no one in our past generations have actually, you know, talked about any of that. Everything was always pushed down, shoved under the carpet, put away, in the background and kept in the closet. So the throat chakra brought about change. And if you had to get into your masculine King of Swords and say no, no is a no, then no is a no. So I'm going to close out with an angel card. Messages from the angels. So maybe the shift, maybe it was in the throat chakra. Speaking one's truth, being authentic is such a rare thing now. I'm beginning to realise how rare it is. Right, please can I have one from the angels to close out this message from the ravens? And looks like it's in the twin flame connection, but definitely doing the shadow work. We've got the 8 of fire, which is the 8 of wands. Events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over. Many things happening at once, but it's on fire. So expect fast action, movement forward. You might be getting opportunities flying at you now, and this could be in the heart space because you've done that clearing, and it takes this kind of fire energy, this raw passion, this it's not tangible, it's magnetic. It takes that to go in and do the shadow work, and that of course is going to make things move faster. And then bottom of the deck we've got balance. Couldn't make it up. So we had balance there in the throat chakra, balance somewhere else. So the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. But it's a number 5 as well. Absolutely surrounded again, there's that illumination at the top of the head. Something came to light. There was change. It may have just been inwardly, but it doesn't matter. If the change happened inwardly, it will reflect in your outer reality. And then underneath that we've got unity. And that's a 5 as well. I can't get over this. So all the fives. This is a massive, massive timeline jump, portal, traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organisations, seek out mentors or like-minded friends. But again, that he looks like the King of Wands. But it's a 5. It's change. Expect changes. Out with the old, in with the new. I love you lots.